So I just got done watching the John Cena's final match on Saturday night's main event. I just got done live streaming it. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's really kind of moving. But I'm here to do a review real quick about what I just witnessed. I just got done with the live stream, turned on the camera. So this is my raw reaction to, pun intended, to Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match. So the night starts off with Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi, and the match barely got going before Drew McIntyre slid in and interrupted it like 10 minutes in. So the match ended with a DQ, and Cody Rhodes just lifted Obafemi's arm up and was like, all right, I guess nobody's getting over. Nobody benefited from that match. Nobody was... what they could have done, for example, is if Cody won, Cody could have lifted up Obafemi and been like, you are the future, and shook his hand. If Obafemi won, he could have been like, I'm the dominant, future of the WWE. I deserve a WWE championship shot against Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble or something. And then have Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi at the Royal Rumble. Just do that. It's an easy fix. But what you don't need to do to open up the night to start off very bitterly is have Drew McIntyre interfere and ruin a match before it even gets started, really. Then we have Sol Ruca versus Bayley, which is pretty good. Sol Ruca beat Bayley. She showed off her athletic skills. It put over Sol Ruca. That's how you get it done. I saw that match and I was like, that is how you should have done Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes. Then we had Leon Slater and Javon Evans versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Now, I said in the live stream, I was like, it's kind of cool to see the X Division champion, the current TNA X Division champion, get to be on a WWE premium live event like this and get a show out like that against a former X Division champion like AJ Styles. I thought that was cool. AJ still got it. There was one moment where he slipped up on the ropes trying to do the phenomenal forearm, and I don't know if that was a work or if that was an actual botch or not, but AJ still got it. I am not ready for AJ to retire. But AJ Styles hit Leon Slater with the Styles Clash to win the match, and then they had a handshake at the end, a salute to John Cena, was how it should be done. And I wish I could say more about Dragon Lee, but they have done so little with Dragon Lee since they signed him to WWE that I don't know what to say about him. I have fond memories of him on the independent scene, but he's little talk here in WWE, other than that he's Raw Tag Team Champion with AJ Styles. And Javon Evans certainly has a future. They've been pushing Javon Evans like crazy. And the match itself was a flip contest. Not a lot of hardcore wrestling going on. A lot of flips, a lot of spots. And I'm okay with that. But there is a nuance to it. And it's like, well, the match went on for 10 minutes and all it was fucking flips. So credit that to how you will. People were desperate to have fun. So the holy shit chants and people having fun in the audience, they really appreciated that. I really appreciated that. I just want to have fun. I don't really care about the ring psychology of a fucking headlock and all this scenario. But Javon Evans, the Lil Baby, I say Lil Baby like the rapper Lil Baby of WWE, he's got a bright future. And this match put over Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Good job. Then came the dreaded part, the main event. Now, there was an interlude before the main event where Joe Tessitore and Stephanie McMahon were up in the stands or whatever the part of the audience doing the Saturday night's main event commentary. And they were interrupted by The Miz. And I was kind of happy that The Miz finally got to come out and be like, I've been trying to challenge John Cena this entire time. I beat him at WrestleMania, yada, 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 because he's been going on about this for weeks. And R-Truth comes out as Ron Cena wearing the John Cena gear. And then he's like, you were messing with Nick Aldis's balls. And that's a callback to SmackDown a few weeks ago when The Miz put himself into the Last Time Is Now tournament and was screwing with it. And it turns out that he replaced one of the balls of Joe Hendry. And so Joe Hendry showed up. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And so Joe Hendry showed up. We got a nice little funny impromptu Joe Hendry pins The Miz in the middle of the ring while R-Truth counts the pin. That was funny. It was nice. A little bit of levity. Then we got to John Cena versus Gunther. And there was a couple, like, it was buffering on my TV, probably because there was a lot of traffic on Peacock at that moment. But I want to talk about this for a second. So, John Cena has been very much compared to the Superman of WWE. And I called it, or we all called him Super Cena. And I think for Cena's last match, we all needed an all-star Superman. We didn't want to see Doomsday. We didn't want to see Gunther completely dominate Cena and kill him on live TV. That would have been Superman Doomsday. We needed an all-star Superman. We needed a greatest hits, Cena winning, Cena being triumphant. And I think that's what we all wanted. That's what we all needed, which was Cena to win. He's won for so long that I think if we saw him win one last time, it's very rare in the wrestling world for a final match to have their retirement match be where the person retires wins the match, right? It's very rare. People like Ric Flair, who had his final match a couple of months ago or like a year ago, which was not really his final match, but it was like a post-retirement match that he keeps doing. He won that. Undertaker won his last match against AJ Styles, which was a theatrical match, rather. But it's rare that a superstar wins their retirement match. And I think John Cena would have been one of those exceptions where he should have won his retirement match. But it was predictable. The minute that Gunther became the number one person to fight John Cena when he beat LA Knight, we all knew what was about to happen next. We knew that Gunther was going to get Cena in the chokehold, in the rear naked choke, and Cena was either going to pass out or tap out. And neither of those were preferable. Nobody wanted to see John Cena end up like that. But Cena puts on a good match. We had great spots with the attitude adjustment off the top rope, attitude adjustment onto the announce tables. Cena kept going. Cena did not give up. He heard the fans, and he kept going. In the final moments, Gunther was just too strong. Gunther was too relentless, and Gunther put him in the rear naked choke. And in the final moments, John Cena had a smile on his face. It's almost as if he looked out into the audience and saw the people cheering for him. And he saw the people happy to see that he was on one last leg, on his last leg, and seeing that he was still going. And with that smile, Cena taps out. Now, there was no explanation. There was no post-match promo to explain it. Gunther wins, just as we all predicted, in the way that we did not want him to win. Because he already did this with Goldberg, and we just did not want to see this happen to Cena. And Cena taps out. I can only assume that Cena, the way that it looked, Cena was like, it's my last day. I might as well phone it in. Tap, tap. That's what it felt like to me. But at the same time, I can appreciate if it was Cena was happy that he finally found somebody who can challenge him enough to get him to tap out, to get him to quit. But the motto is never give up. And that's why so many people in the audience, some people like myself, and I assume thousands of people online, probably have a problem with this ending. And we are going to be ranting about this ending for years to come. This is going to be a stain on John Cena's legacy. If anything, good job on getting Gunther over as the top heel. He has now got more heat than anybody else in the WWE, more organic heat than even Dominic Mysterio. Congratulations. You win, Triple H. You got what you wanted out of that. And there was one thing that Michael Cole said that really stuck out to me, and that was, tonight, pro wrestling defeated sports entertainment. I'd like to say something about that because it's always been pro wrestling. We've always known it to be pro wrestling. The only one person, Vince McMahon, who didn't show up tonight, they didn't have the balls to let him show up, but they did let him show up in a vignette as a tribute to John Cena. That was nice, but Vince McMahon was the only person who was calling it sports entertainment. He made everybody else call it sports entertainment, but it was always pro wrestling. If anything else, now WWE is more sports entertainment centric than it is pro wrestling centric. So the line, pro wrestling tonight beat sports entertainment, is a bullshit line. Because there are more corporatized advertisements, more stickers on the ring like it's fucking NASCAR. You got the Prime bottles out there. Logan Paul's wrestling there. Bad Bunny's wrestling there. Travis Scott, Jelly Roll. You have more celebrities doing wrestling now. It is more sports entertainment now than it's ever been. It is less pro wrestling than AEW is. It's less pro wrestling than what you could call NXT now. That is the line that pissed me off. Is like, is this really Triple H again trying to bury something that was Vince McMahon's just so he can get somebody who was one of his favorites over? Is that what this is really about? Because if that's what it is, people should be furious. And we saw Triple H come out with the whole roster after that. After the match was over, Triple H came out and people were booing Triple H. It was insane to listen to people boo Triple H. They were saying half thank you Cena, half fuck Triple H. A legit chant by the fans. And they have every right to feel that way. Cena went out. I have to say thank you Cena for all the memories. As Cena walked out of the arena, I admittedly had some tears in my eyes. I was a little bit choked up. You could see on the live stream. But the booking was not good. And I'm sure I'll make multiple videos about this. The booking for that ending was not good at all. And a lot of people are going to be furious. I know that John Cena was very adamant. He was like, by the time the Royal Rumble comes around, people won't care about me. People won't care about John Cena. They're going to be focusing on WrestleMania. The irony of that statement is that more people will be thinking about tonight, more people will be thinking about John Cena than the people wrestling at WrestleMania next year, because Triple H has done fuck all to create brand new stars that are as big and as draws as John Cena. You could argue that Cody Rhodes is. You could argue that CM Punk and Roman Reigns are. They're 1 foot out the door, though. Braun Breaker should be built up. LA Knight should be built up. Obafemi should be built up. Javon Evans should be built up to these next big stars. Go reach into NXT and pull them out and make them big stars, man. It's not that hard. We saw it happen before. I don't know what the hesitation is on that, but people will not be thinking about those superstars in the future. They're going to say, who are these wrestlers? Who are these jobbers? Who cares? Nobody cares. They're thinking about John Cena still. They're thinking about that terrible ending. So, I'm sure that I am going to rant about John Cena's final match for years to come. Probably the next couple months at the very least, I will be ranting about this. But for now, I'm going to end the video by saying one thing. To all WWE fans, all professional wrestling fans, and all John Cena fans. As somebody who has grown up watching John Cena in his prime, who I remember as a kid, the mythology around my friends talking about John Cena. At school, you know, my friends in my personal life, they talked about John Cena like he was this mythological character. And to me, he was. And I grew up watching Cena with that. And I just want people who are wrestling fans and for people who are John Cena fans to hear my words and understand this. We should be grateful as fans who have grown up watching John Cena to have the privilege to be able to have seen Cena in his better days, in his prime, as Super Cena. We should be grateful and we should be thankful that we were alive during this time, because there's going to be wrestling fans years from now who are not going to have the same privilege as us. They're going to be like, wow, I wish I was alive to have witnessed John Cena. I wish I would have been alive to witness The Undertaker or Jeff Hardy or Rey Mysterio, right? I'm like, man, I really wish that I was alive during the 80s to have seen WrestleMania in the 80s with The Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. But all I get to see are WWE Vault videos and old pay-per-views. It's almost like traveling back in time and watching something from a bygone era. And unfortunately, that's what wrestling fans of the future have to look forward to, is seeing John Cena from a bygone era. While we, who have grown up watching John Cena, had the privilege to get to see him when he was at his best. And leaving you all with that thought in mind, I just want to say thank you, John Cena, for all that you've done for wrestling, for all that you've done for wrestling fans. I can't say that I'm looking forward to the future of John Cena because it's Hollywood and humiliation. But even though I might not be happy with the way tonight ended, certainly not the worst retirement match ever. Not the best either. Could have been way better. But thank you, John Cena. Never seen 17. I'm a super mark for Cena, I'll say that. But with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Y'all have a great day. And cherish those who you love. Cherish John Cena. Cherish those memories. That's what I'll say for now, because all good things come to an end. Y'all take care. I'll see you on a video very soon. Bye-bye for now.